So now we're gonna go over one of our base strength patterns, okay, front squat. So starting off, bar is gonna be at a good height, needs to be between about the sternum and the collarbone, right, for whoever we're setting up with. Now, Jill is gonna be underneath. We're gonna grab the bar just outside the shoulders. Good, we're gonna get up underneath the bar, driving our elbows forward as far as we can. Good, feet in a good position here, right? Make sure both feet are square underneath the bar, underneath our hips, good. Now, just so we can see, right, the elbows are nice and high, right? And we're in a good position underneath our hips. Now, just because we're always gonna unrack backwards out of the rack and not forward, we're gonna have Jill turn around so we can see the backward position, right? How it's gonna look from behind. So same thing, bar is gonna be about shoulder width, hands are gonna be just outside the shoulder frame. We're gonna get nice and up underneath the bar. Right, now here, we notice the back is nice and flat and relaxed, right? The bar is in front, so we have to brace in front. That means we can't be tight back here and expect our elbows to get long and allow those shoulders to go forward so we have a good base for the bar to sit on. Okay, so from there, we're gonna stand up, right, moving back. Okay, getting just enough space out of the rack. Now, feet are gonna be about hip width apart, right? We don't really wanna think shoulder is gonna put it outside the shoulder frame. We wanna think right outside the hip. Toes can be out just a little bit. Big key is knees have to turn over the toes as we squat. So as we go down, right, we're gonna think of trying to turn out of our shoes, knees out a little bit, and then squat down into that pattern, right? Make sure we're getting top of thigh parallel to the floor. So as she turns her knees out, gonna squat down, loading back into that hip, and driving up. Good, one more, knees out. Good, and then we can re-rack, walking back into the rack. Big key is we want to make sure we're loading into the hips, right, not the knees. So we don't want those knees to drive forward first. Back a little bit, sink down into that hip, right, load the bigger joint, make us a little more stable. So now we're going to be going over a power skater. It's one of our base plyometric drills, okay? Loading from one side to the other and landing with a good catch position, right? Starting here, okay, we're going to load into this hip, pushing out and as far as we can land it, right? Make sure we're staying balanced during that landing phase and absorbing the force here, out, right? We want to try and get as far as we can laterally to make sure we're making that force absorption piece a little more difficult on each rep. Okay, next we're going to be going over a half kneeling get off, right? One of our base change of direction drills, working on that good foot placement, driving out laterally, okay? So starting off, knee down the ground, right? Foot going to be nice and straight. We're going to be 90-90 here, right? Looking to see from the side. Be about 90-90, right? Good posture, nice and tall. Take that knee off the ground, so we're loading here, right? And then driving out, okay? Getting out as far as we can. So we're going to be in this position here, facing this way. Again, going here, knee up, off the ground, nice and tall, opposite arm, opposite leg. Drive out. Making sure we're getting a good initial push off from that bottom leg. Starting off, we're going to go over post chop. It's one of our base sprint mechanic drills. Working on power, position, and pattern a little bit, right? Starting off, bringing this foot up, okay? Knee as high as you need it to be. Heel is going to be directly under the glute, right under the hip. Toe is going to be nice and pointed up. We're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg, right? Now, from here, all we're doing on each hip is going to be switching, pop, pop, pop. Right, making sure we're in a good position each time on the reset, keeping that heel up underneath the hip, and then knee as high as you can go with that toe up. And hip, 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 hip. Good job. So now all we're working on here really is, again, power, good ground contact, and making sure that our feet are moving as fast as we can while maintaining good position.